What's up, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Real and Ugly podcast, where we keep the takes real, even if it gets a little ugly. I'm your host, Vaughn, and I'm here with the fellas today. Say what's going on, everyone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
How y'all boys feeling today? Any
right.
thoughts on the
straight
draft?
and straight.
I say any quick thoughts on the draft?
Um, yeah, Jalen Milroe will be the second best quarterback in the draft,
Uh,
and Dylan
Back-to-back Super
Gabriel will
Bowl
start before
champions.
Shador Sanders.
All right. A little interesting. But anyway, let's jump straight into it today. The draft is in the books, and some teams crushed it. Other teams, not so much. Didn't look pretty good. Just picking anyone out there. So let's start with some winners and losers of the draft. What teams you guys think won, and who do you think lost, Nick?
Saints, they drafted a 28-year-old quarterback,
And you have them as a
and
loser.
yeah, they're a loser. And I do like the Calvin Banks pick because you lost Ryan Ramczyk and your whole team is garbage. So you need to protect your quarterback. You'll probably be trash next year, so you got your left tackle of the future. And then my winner of the draft is the Browns. They arguably probably got four starters in the draft. The Nets, good running back duo, by the way, in Sampson and Judkins. And then you got a starting tight end next to in Njoku, and then a starting D tackle playing along Miles Garrett.
I like that. I like that. All right, a little quick popcorn, Tyler. What about you? How you feeling?
Um, for losers of the draft, I mean, for me, there were a couple just due to wasted picks. But honestly, I didn't really favor Green Bay's draft much. Um, I just don't like the players they got at the places that they got them. Um, I do like what Cleveland did as a winner. They would have been a winner to me. They're just an honorable mention. But in this draft, there was no need to draft two quarterbacks, so that alone messes me up. Winners, I did like what the Bears did. I believe they filled a lot of necessary needs. And then, like I said earlier, I don't know if y'all heard me, but the Eagles are going back to back. So I love what we did. 2 years in a row.
I think you guys did good at adding some more weapons to your defense for sure. I definitely can agree to that.
Yeah, I think that was the biggest part. We didn't really add so much as replace because everything we did lose. But that's gonna be the biggest question for me is how do those picks play based off their necessity?
Good that.
Mm.
And Brother Alfani, we're gonna spin it back to you.
I think a winner in the draft is the Cleveland Browns because I think they got a bunch of pieces that they really needed. Good running backs, good defense, good tight end because they were not it last year. So hopefully the pieces that they get makes them better. So I think they were the winner. And to be honest, I think the loser of the draft is probably the Cowboys. It feels like they in rebuild mode and they not they not really trying to get better for
I like that. Me personally, as I do think that the Cleveland Cowboys, the Cleveland Browns are pretty close for the top. I think I like the most what Arizona did. I think it's pretty good that they tried to big up their defense. I think they got a couple of really solid picks. The linebacker Cody Simon from Alabama from Ohio State. He's pretty good. I like him. He's a nice outside linebacker. Helps them out, and I really like their first round pick. The D tackle out of Old Miss. Walter Nolan. He's a monster down there. He's gonna be really good at helping them disrupt disrupt right in the middle and stuff. So that's what I think is one of the biggest winners. They really went on defense. I think that was important. I think the loser, I think I'm in agreement with Nick. I can't believe the Saints decided to choose Tyler Show. That was a really early pick for absolutely zero reason. And then I feel like other than Kelvin Banks, I think a lot of their picks are just not going to pan out very well. I think they're a lot more. I think they're going to look. They looked better in college. I don't think it's going to look the same in the NFL, but maybe they can prove me wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Saints draft that wasn't really.
Yeah,
No, I
disgusting.
do agree with you. I do like what Arizona did. I didn't mention them, but they were definitely on my list. I really do like what Arizona did.
Yeah,
I
they,
just think for them, like, yeah, more weapons help. I don't know. I don't trust Kyler Murray. But as far as just looking at the draft and not, how the team plays, Arizona had a great draft.
yeah, they tried to really help him out on defense. It's gonna be up to Kyler Murray, and they got him a help. They got him. Well, they got him some help. They took an offensive guard in the sixth round or fifth round. So
Yeah.
every other pick was defense, but they were really all in on defense this year. So we'll see how that turns out for him. I don't know. Can Kyler Murray turn a leaf and become a what's the right word? I don't want to say all pro, but maybe a
Oh, Bowler?
yeah,
They give him some help, maybe, but
yeah.
they don't want him to
At
Do
succeed.
least
you?
caliber.
Let's get a quick little poll. How many of you guys believe Kyler Murray can get it done, and how many people do
Can
you
get what
think
done?
can?
Like win it all?
No, I don't know. Whatever your version of success is? If that is the championship, or is if just constantly winning your division, constantly being competitive, like however you want to take it. Do you think he could be successful?
Um, I don't necessarily know if I see the Cardinals going to the championship. That's what I think I'll deem successful. But at the same time, I don't even think they made the playoffs last year. So a playoff berth is better for them this year. That would be a successful season. So do I
Right.
think they can get to the playoffs? Yes. Do I think he can lead them all the way? No. So it's like a
Because of him, or just because they're the Cardinals?
right now I'm gonna blame them more than I blame him. I think that he's pretty talented and I think he does what he can. But I want to see what it looks like when we're like, okay, everything is all on you. Like right now, I think it's still a debate. When it's not a debate like how it is for certain quarterbacks, it's like it's on you. Then that's what I want to see if he does. Then I'll
Okay.
know if he's like really,
The issue.
yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, so
And if y'all want to weigh in on that, or just on to the next?
I like Kyler Murray. Think he's a pretty cool quarterback.
Yeah, I think
That
they
boy
should
said,
focus on getting them some old linemen and another receiver. I would have went receiver in the second round, but they don't want them to succeed. So yeah,
who who's their second receiver or first receiver? Michael Wilson, or no? Am I tripping?
I think it is.
and then
I would have
Marvin
It's
got
Harrison.
another
Michael and
receiver to go along with
And
McBride and
Marvin,
Marvin Harrison.
oh, okay. Their leading receiver though was Trey McBride, or no?
Yeah, I
Yeah, in
think
yards, I think so.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
touchdowns. I
like I
think it was
said,
Marvin.
Big deal.
yeah, if they would have got him a little help there, but I mean, you can't complain. You try to beef up the line a little bit if the draft pick works out. So hopefully they do something.
No, we'll see. They just need. I don't know. I feel like the receivers aren't that bad. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's more the line. I think if he has more time, they'll be a little bit better. Because we just named Marvin Harrison Jr. I think Michael Wilson is pretty decent. Trey McBride is top five tight end. And then Dortch, their little speedster, he's pretty good too. So I mean, that's at least three people. Well, four.
Yeah, I would love to see Marvin Harrison make that jump this year because last year wasn't it. To me, it was not it. I would love to
He
see
had
him.
games. He showed flashes. That's what I'll say. He showed flashes, but
For the hype he came in with, I need more than flashes. I need games put together where like Malik Neighbors look like he. You feel me?
Yeah. So did Brian
When he
Thomas
was
Jr. They
healthy,
both had better rookie seasons in my opinion than him. So
yeah.
well, at least now that we talked about some of the teams, I guess we should get a little bit more into the actual players. Let's maybe talk about some who we think could be a boom or a bust in this draft. But I'll let Alfani, I'll let you start this boom or bust. Who do you feel like is a boom or bust?
I wouldn't
I
say
feel
this
like Will.
person. I wouldn't say this person is actually gonna be like a full bust, but I feel like Genty. They think that boy is gonna be like LaDainian Tomlinson. Like them saying his floor is LaDainian Tomlinson. Not even running the ball one time in the league, second highest paid running back in the league right now, and he hasn't even played it down yet is a little crazy to me. I think he's going to be good, but I think people are overhyping him.
That's fair. I mean, I feel the same way. I feel like not to knock any of his production because he had an amazing year in college football. I just don't know how I feel about him playing at Boise State. Like, some people there's too many college schools, and I just feel like there's everybody knows that some competition is much lower than others. And while he did, I think, had a pretty good game against Oregon, the first week of college playoffs did not look good whatsoever. So
No, I didn't.
supposed to be this big time game changer, and he was very much bottled up. But Penn State also has a fairly good rush defense, so a run defense. So
And I think who's going to be nice. I think Travis Hunter going to get it done over there in Jacksonville,
so
whether he plays offense or defense.
which one would you want him to play?
I say stick to what you know and do both.
Would you have him play like the whole game, or would you think you would have?
Nah, I feel like where they need him most is where he should play. Like if they're not like doing anything on offense and their defense is cooking, let them play offense. They need like another corner or like even he can play like safety.
Hmm.
Feel like he could be good at that too. But he doesn't have to play like every down because I feel like him trying to go against like Tyreek Hill and then go back and then I don't know who the Dolphins' best corner is, but then he's getting he's gonna try to get past him and try to score a touchdown. I think that's gonna be a lot trying to do it every down.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of physical demand on his body. That's for sure.
Yeah. And one piece of advice I have for him is try stop dancing so much and just get the move out.
Yeah.
You mean like juking and shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, like when he runs his routes, he likes to like dance a lot. I'm like,
I thought you meant like dancing, like trying to make plays
TikTok.
after the catch, and then
I knew
he's
what
gonna
he
get
meant, but
he's gonna get smacked.
I'm just saying, he's been doing it for a while. It's got him pretty far. That's all I'm saying. But what about you, Nick? Who do you guys the biggest boom or bust in this draft?
Yeah. So the biggest bust of the draft, Shamar Stewart, 4.5 sacks in 3 years, and you were in college, and now they're asking you to be potentially the number one, and if Trey Henderson leaves, so yeah, you're gonna get your yeah cooked. And then uh surprise, I'm gonna do Mason Taylor because a tight end is a quarterback's best friend, and I think he's a good tight end. He just didn't go first round or higher because the two tight ends are better, but I think he's good. And then yeah, those are my two.
What about you, Tyler?
Um, for the biggest bust, I think due to no matters of his own, because I do believe he has a lot of talent. I do think for where he was drafted, he's going to be a little less productive than other people in his class. But my bust would be McMillan. I just feel like that Panthers offense is gonna have a hard time getting going. There's not really a lot of big play receivers to take away from the attention of him. Um, so that receiver room isn't really that deep. Like I said, due to nothing he did, because I do believe he's talented. But for my biggest boom, I'm gonna be a little biased because I don't know. I think I just fell in love with this story. I think he's gonna play with that fire that emotions can either make or break you in a contact sport like that. And I feel like he got the right emotions flowing through him. But my biggest boom is gonna be Derek Harmon, that Steelers pick, that edge rusher. I
Hmm.
mean the defensive tackle.
Hmm.
I just feel like late late to mid round in the first, they're gonna get good value out of him. He's going to a defense that needs him to step up, and I believe he will. And then I got two honorable mentions just for my bust. I completely agree with Nick. I feel like Shamar Stewart going to that lackluster Bengals defense, asking to be the number one, possibly he's going to struggle heavily. And then just the honorable mention from my boom, it might not be surprising, but I got Cam Ward, obviously the number one pick, going to the Titans and maybe not looking the best, but he's I mean, I guess it's not a hot take saying he's gonna be the best quarterback out this draft, but I think I'm gonna like what I see out of him making a little something out of nothing. I believe that's what he's gonna do. But those are my, I guess, two picks and two honorable mentions.
So I'm actually gonna jump on right there because that's who I actually have. I get he's the number one pick. I do have him being the biggest boom though.
Oh, boom!
Yeah, I think he's gonna play
Oh, I
really
thought you were gonna
well.
go buzz.
No, no, no.
Mm.
I got Cam. I got Cam actually playing like I have Cam act
Okay.
like I think they're gonna end up surprising people because there was times when Mason Rudolph would have that offense actually looking like, hold on, what's going on? You get a little shock. They might actually be in a game that they shouldn't be. They have a decent number one receiver in Calvin Ridley. I think they picked up somebody that I can't think of right now.
Restrepo and Tyler Lockett.
Oh, so see, they brought Restrepo in too. They brought in his own receiver. Which that's probably
Yeah,
they're probably going to be able to help each other. So I do think that he's going to. I think he's actually going to be really like
I like that. I
he's
like
a
that.
dark horse for a Pro Bowler. I'm gonna say that.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
A dark horse
I'm
for a
on
Pro
the
Bowler.
Cam train.
Yeah, and I think my biggest bust, I won't. So I don't think he's going to play, but I don't think we'll see him play. And if he does, it will be very bad. So I don't necessarily want to say him, but this is going to be, I guess, my honorable mention is Tyler Stroh that went to the Saints. I think he is really not a good
You're
quarterback.
picking on him, brother.
Nah, I really don't think he's a good quarterback, like
It's
at
gonna
all.
be
I think we saw with Brandon Whedon. I really think that he's just another Brandon Whedon. I mean, he has a strong arm. And think of it as when you're like 26 in college, it's a lot easier. So
yeah,
I
and
don't
he
even necessarily feel like his numbers weren't good enough to think like, oh yeah, you really have this down. Like you're really out here commanding the offense. Like there was games that it did not look good for him at all, and it's just like he's doing bad turnover stuff that you would expect somebody who's been playing for 5, 6 years to have down, especially when you're playing against like some I don't want to say lower competition, but it just like when rookies go to the NFL, everything's faster. So it should be the same thing. And these are kids coming out of high school. And I feel like it should be even more of a gap when you could possibly already be an NFL caliber player. So that's who's kind of I guess you can say dark horse bust, but I don't think he's going to play. So it's a little unfair to him. So if he doesn't play,
Picking
he
on
can't
him.
be a bust. But who I
Picking on
think
him.
is going to be a bust based on their pick is Matthew Golden. I don't believe that Matthew Golden he's not a bad receiver at all, but I also don't think he should have been taken where he was. You know, he's a good route runner. He's not the best route runner. He's kind of small. I just don't really see it. I don't see it that much, but I know he could prove me wrong. And then going to Green Bay, where it's like they have all these young receivers who are all hungry, and Jordan Love just swings the ball to literally anybody. It's not like we're gonna his production for his pick. I think they could have went better trying to make the defense better or trying to help out the offensive line, but I wouldn't have gone Matthew. It's just and like I said, it's not even that I think he's gonna be bad. I just think it's based on where he was picked at. For him to be a first rounder, I mean, it's 28th pick, so it's later in the first round. I still think they could have went like a O lineman or maybe I know they got this problem going on with Alexander. Maybe try to find a new young corner. I think Amos went after that, and I think Amos is going to be a really good corner. There's somebody who I thought about as a boom, but it's hard to tell boom and bust with receiver with defensive backs. If you just play good, like so. Excuse me. I think Amos is a sleeper though. I think Amos is going to be a really good player, and he went to the Commanders after that. So those are my two, I think, biggest ones. But yeah, Tyler Shaw, I do not.
Oh, and he's gonna play because the quarterback is Spencer Rattler. He's gonna play.
What about Derek Carr? What happened? Is he done?
Oh yeah,
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I don't think Tyler Shaw's going to play because though
I
there's
forgot
two people
about
or
him.
three people, however many people they have. But
Yeah,
if
they're
he
gonna be
does
terrible
play,
anyway.
I think he has a better chance of being on the practice squad than making the actual roster. But
Oh yeah, you're in trouble.
hey, I think
I
that's
got I got one more pick just because I think it's gonna be the exact opposite of Shamar Stewart, Abdul Carter. With that defensive line he's already going to, he can stand up, he can play on the line. He's gonna have a season. If he gets enough reps, he's gonna have a great season.
he was a
But
little
yeah,
bit crazy for that Lawrence Taylor number.
Yeah, he's tripping.
he tried. He came
Respect
out
your
at the
elders,
time.
man.
They just asked him. They said, "Is there a number you got in mind?" He said, 56 sounds a little good.
He's tripping.
Okay.
Ugh.
Well, I mean, talking about Abdul Carter, I feel like we should make a couple of who do we think could be the rookie of the year? We could start defensively. And my pick, personally, I'm going to go away from Mr. Abdul Carter, and I think it'll be Will Johnson. I think going back to my Cardinals pick, I think Will Johnson will have a standout year at corner, and he will really help them, especially with a couple of the matchups that he has being in that division. He has to go against Cooper Kupp. He's going to have to go against Brandon Ayuk. So I think that Cooper Kupp, Jackson Smith, and Jigba, I think he's going to have a chance to actually make a name for himself. So I think he has a decent chance.
Let me ask you a quick question.
Yeah.
Do you have him being one of those lockdown corners like Sauce's first year where they just don't throw to him? Or do you have him being one of those high interception cornerbacks?
I think they're gonna try him, especially coming off injury. They're gonna try to see what the hype's about, and I believe that he's good enough that the hype is gonna be there. It might not last long. They might realize that they probably shouldn't keep doing that. But I think it's gonna start off rookie. He's a rookie injury, and I think he's gonna end up playing significant minutes. They're gonna try him. In the first few weeks, I think he's gonna probably shock a lot of people. Speaking of sauce, though, this is just a quick. We don't have to go down this rabbit hole.
Ice Spice?
Oh, no, I was
It's
gonna say I
fine.
do not. Sauce. I think Sauce is a good corner, but I think there's a chance he might have been overhyped. I feel like when they started picking on him this year, I don't know what happened. Like it started off like you said, people didn't want to pick on him, and then all of a sudden this year, it's like they just were like, why did we stop? And then now, next thing you know, the ball's coming his way. He still does his thing. He's still a great corner, but I'm just saying it looks different now. Before when people weren't even trying him to now when they start trying him, they're getting some more stuff off, and then it's all I'm saying. But still a great corner. It's just he might have been overhyped because I feel like they were talking about him like he's the next prime Revis. Like you don't even want to think about it, and people have been thinking about it. So,
Right.
but anybody got a defensive rookie of the year before we switch over to the offensives?
I think it's gonna be Malachi Stark
Hmm.
because him
Yeah.
getting paired up with Kyle Hamilton. Feel like that Ravens defense is about to go crazy this year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go Mason Graham.
Do you think he's gonna start?
Yeah, because he's playing along Miles Garrett, so I think it'll make it easier for him to, do good.
I was going to say um Malachi Starks just for the same reason he can roam around. But he said that I'm gonna go with my own take. I was gonna say Mason Graham, same reason, because he's paired with Miles Garrett. But I'm gonna go back to what I just said. You know what? No, I'm not. You know how I'm gonna go with
Let's hear it. This boy about
Travis Hunter. I think Travis Hunter will get reps at cornerback. I believe people will try him, and I believe just off of his playmaking ability and the number he gets from interceptions, because he's going to find the ball. He's going to find the ball, and I feel like they're going to try him. Give me Travis, and I believe Jacksonville will give him enough freedom to play within whatever Travis feels he's comfortable with. If he can't handle it, he might dial it back. But give me Travis as defensive rookie of the year.
All right.
So
What about?
since we're talking about, a little offense and defense, it's time to switch to the offense. I feel like a lot of people may think that it was going to be Travis Hunter, but I think going off of what I already said, how I have him as a dark horse Pro Bowler, I think I have to continue on with Cam Ward being my offensive rookie of the year. Plus, quarterback is the biggest position in the league, the most important position. He's going to play. I believe he'll win it week 1. I think there might be they're going to try to make this whole, is it a competition? Just based off what I've seen and the swagger, I don't even think it's going to take long. I think by like week 3, we'll get the announcement that or there's only 3 preseason weeks. So I guess preseason week 2, we're going to know he's a starter. Probably won't even play the last week of the preseason because they got to make sure their new car is nice and clean and ready to go. So that's what I think I got as the offensive rookie of the year.
One more. Let me get one non-quarterback offensive rookie of the year.
Non-quarterback?
Non-quarterback.
So
for all of you guys too, when you answer one non,
when I said,
if it's not a quarterback,
okay,
then
I'm gonna have a toss-up, and this is kind of gonna contradict what Alfani was saying, but I do think I'm between Travis and Genty. Travis, I think, is just going to be pretty good, but he might not have the stats because I do believe he's going to play all over. So I think it's going to affect as if he's constantly playing offense when I think he's going to be, he's going to have a multiple reps on offense or multiple reps on defense, maybe a long defensive drive. And then they're like, all right, you can sit most of the offensive drive and then just come in on a certain down or something. So I think his stats are going to look a little lesser than they could be. But I think it's going to be Genty because I think they're going to force feed him. Pete Carroll likes to run, and it's just like a situational thing. Like, oh, here you go.
Yeah.
Here you go. Here you go. And it's just going to constantly help him. So that's why I think that's my non-offensive. And other than that, I can't think of who else I would think non-offensively.
No, I like that.
Quarterback.
I'm about to say, I put you on the spot, but no, I like that.
I know who I'm getting for offense.
Who is that?
The pick to the Bucks, the receiver.
Ibuka?
Yeah. I just feel like they have so many weapons that he's going to get like a lot of one-on-one stuff, and he's going to score a lot of touchdowns for him.
I got a question. Is Godwin going to be back for the season, in time for the season?
Yeah,
he is.
Yeah? Oh, okay. So then what about you, Nick? Who do you think is going to be the offensive rookie of the year?
I was going to go with Genty, but I'm going to go with Marion Hampton because the Jim Harbaugh play style. And then I think he has the better quarterback and the better offensive line and a run-first play-action offense. So I'm going with Marion Hampton.
Type shit.
I like that.
But I could see Genty getting it just because I think he's the better running back. But I'm going to go with Amari and Hampton.
I like that.
And what about you, Tyler?
Yeah, okay.
It's easy. Quarterback, Cam Ward. If I'm not going Cam Ward, non-quarterback, I really want to say Loveland, but I don't know. Like you said, tight end is a quarterback's best friend. I feel like he's going to get – his numbers are just going to look good, I believe. But I'm going to go with Genty just because volume. It's hard not to pick Genty whether you like his talent or not. Like you said, the carries are going to be there, and they're going to stuff you till you're full. Mm-hmm. So –
yeah, that's a Pete Carroll offense.
Yeah, exactly. And then – Pete Carroll remembers that. You feel me? He remembers that Super Bowl blunder. If we're on the one, if we're in the red zone, yeah, I'm gonna give it to him.
We might just have to give it to our shiny new running back.
Exactly, like you said. So he might, he's going to get his work in. So as long as Genty half the player that people talk about him to be, this rookie season is going to be real good for him. And second highest paid running back, you better do something, or that's the last contract you're getting, brother.
I
Yeah.
got a question.
Yeah.
What's up?
Do they do the same thing? Like, if someone gets injured before the season, do they be considered a rookie or no? It's their second year.
It's only in the NBA.
That's only in the NBA. Because I was gonna say the dude on the Vikings.
What guy?
JJ McCarthy.
Yep.
Yeah, I
I'm
thought
not
he
mad
had
at
a
that.
chance to be here last year.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm not mad at that.
I think he was. He would have.
I mean, I don't know.
The way Sam Darnold was playing, though, he wasn't going to get it.
Yeah,
And he wasn't playing better than Jane Daniels.
that's what I was about to say.
Nah, he wasn't.
I don't know if Jaden
I-
Daniels had like a historic rookie season. If we would have got two of them, that would have just been.
He was
But at the
probably
same
the
time,
crazy.
we did. Wasn't that? Isn't that kind of similar to weren't oh, I don't know if they were historic numbers, but I was gonna say were RG3 and Andrew Luck doing like something like that? Then they
It
both have
was.
like
They were battling. Yeah, they
yeah,
were
like
battling for a minute.
I think they were both doing like their own respected historic things. Like RG3 would run and throw for a certain amount, and Andrew Luck would have like a certain yards and all this other. I can't think of it off top. I don't want to.
No, yeah, we know.
But I think it was. I just remember them being like, "Oh, RG3 broke this, and Andrew Luck did this." But you brought up Loveland, tight end for the Bears, right?
Yes, sir.
And me personally, as we all know, I'm a Penn State fan. And I think the best tight end is
Tyler
Tyler Warren.
Warren.
I think Tyler Warren is, I hate to say it, but by far the best tight end.
But who's going to throw him the ball, though?
Well, anybody, they'll probably have the Wildcat running back, Anthony Richardson, throwing him the ball. But to get to that, and me bringing up Tyler Warren, I think that he is the biggest steal of the draft. The fact that he fell there, I think is unfair. I think he should have definitely easily went top 10. I think he is a complete tight end. And then I think he's even more versatile because he's 6'6", 240. You can line him up outside, inside. His biggest knock is he only been playing tight end since he got to Penn State, first of all. He was quarterback out of high school. But he's not the best blocker, but he's a capable blocker. And somebody his frame, I'm sure it'll turn into technique. If you teach him the right technique, but some teams maybe they were scared, maybe needs. But the only biggest problem is it is going to be spooky at the quarterback position with Anthony Richardson, and I am an advocate against him. I think he is just a running back who happens to play quarterback. He reminds me of somebody from our Dale City Rec days. We had a running back quarterback. He's a pretty good player, but I don't think it works very much in the NFL. So I'll let you guys go ahead with your next steal.
Let me hold on. So I think this draft was filled with a lot of good tight ends. You think Tyler Warren is gonna have a better season than Colson Loveland, Mason Taylor, who went to the Jets? They're trying their
See, that's where I thought he was gonna go at 6.
to the Jets.
Yeah.
That's
why I say that that's why I said call him a steal. Even it's only 14, which is still like high pick and 7-round draft and everything like that. But I thought he was gonna go 6 to the Jets, and I thought the Jets could have really used him. Which they did. That was a great pick in Mason Taylor. So
yeah,
I guess maybe and that could have been their thought process. Maybe they were like, maybe we can. That probably worked out perfectly for them. That they were like, hopefully he slips, and he slipped far enough, and they were able to grab him. So, but that's why I thought he should have went, or I thought at least that's where I thought he was going. I can't say that's where he should have went because the Jets had bigger plans, and so I'm not gonna hate on Mason Taylor. I think he's a good tight end too.
Okay. But you think, just to answer, you think Tyler Warren has the best season out of all the rookie tight ends?
So,
only Daniel.
The quarterback situation is terrible. So I don't know if on paper it will look that way. And the Bears air the ball out. So I think there's a better chance Loveland might look better, but I think as time goes on, we'll see Warren be the better player. But I just think the Colts quarterback, and I don't know what Anthony Richardson either wants to run it or he wants to throw it 75 yards. So I don't know how often we're going to see Warren taking off for 75 yards in that offense. He does like Mo
Yeah.
Ali Cox though, and so I think Warren, if he likes Mo Ali Cox, I think he's gonna love Warren. So we'll see. But
I think if Daniel Jones is the starter, he'll be the best tight end.
who?
If
Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones is the starter, he'll be better off than Anthony
Oh, I
Richardson.
forgot Daniel Jones is on the Colts. Okay,
Because
okay.
this is the best team Daniel Jones has had
You
with a
really
good
had my
coach and
brain
good
spinning,
quarterback.
and I thought you were saying there was a tight end named Daniel Jones, and I was really trying to think about a tight end named Daniel Jones, but I forgot he went to the Colts. But what
Yeah.
about you, Nick? Who do you have as the biggest deal in this draft?
Definitely Will Johnson because he's arguably the best corner, and the only reason he fell is because of the injury. And the Cardinals they probably got the best corner in the second round, and they needed a corner bad. So I'm gonna go Will Johnson,
Mm-hmm.
Arizona Cardinals, still the draft.
You know what I will say too, and I was gonna say this is like an honorable mention, or I don't know if I'll call it a steal of the draft, but I just want to bring this up that I think Cam Scadaboo is gonna be a good player, and I know you guys picked him up, and I
Yeah,
don't know, I just feel like even if he's not a running back, you turn him into Kyle Juszczyk or something. He's the real deal football player. But
yeah, I think
what
it'll be
about
good.
you, Tyler? Who's your steal?
Um, Once again, I got two. One, I'm gonna go with the home team. I believe we got the biggest steal in the first round in Jahad Campbell at 31. Still because I say talent versus where we got him and versus our need. We needed somebody literally of his talents. He wasn't supposed to be there when we got him. Like I said, it just worked out for us. If I had to pick somebody else though, even though he came from a smaller school, I really like Mike Green, the defensive end that the Ravens picked up. I really like the Ravens draft also this year, but
Yeah,
I
they
like
do.
Mike Green at that spot.
Yeah.
Late second round pick. But yeah, those are my two.
What about you, Alfani?
No, Ty Starks, man.
That's your steal
Biggest
of the
steal?
draft.
Yeah, I feel like the Ravens already had like a good safety, and just pairing him up with Kyle Hamilton, it's going to be scary in Baltimore next year,
Yeah.
especially
Wait,
since
are you a
Lamar.
Baltimore fan?
Nope, we
Oh,
we
okay.
rock
I
with
was just
4-2, 4-3 right there. Chargers Nation all day, every day.
okay. I was just checking.
It's just how we get down
Don't
here.
ever disrespect me like that.
Hey, just a question, brother. Just a question.
Well, I feel like we spent some time really talking about the youth and the new, I guess you could say, the babies of the NFL. So with some of these new additions of some of these new players, these new key additions or people that may never see the field, I feel like we should try to pick some super, super early division winners. So Nick, I think I'll let you start with the division winners. I know that you have been prepared for this day for a while now, and I think it's time for you to go ahead and get it out.
I
Just
have,
say who you
sir.
think is going to win the divisions for the most part.
Okay. Um, for the AFC East, I got the Bills. AFC North, I got the Ravens.
Hold on.
AFC
My bad,
South.
my bad. Give me best and worst. Forget the middle
Okay,
two. Best
I
worst.
have best to worst actually in order, so this is perfect.
Okay.
All right. For the AFC East, I got the Bills. I got surprise Patriots, number two. The Dolphins because they're competitive with a healthy Tua, and I got the Jets last. AFC North, I got Ravens. I want to say the Steelers, but their quarterbacks, they don't have one. So I'm gonna go Ravens,
Mhm.
Bengals, Steelers, Browns.
Steelers are getting Aaron Rodgers.
Well, we don't know that yet.
I'm
AFC South,
just kidding.
this is kind of tricky for me. I want to go Texans by that's easy number one. Uh Jags second, Colts, then Titans last, obvious. Well, no, sorry. Titans, se I'm gonna do Titans second. Sorry, this is pre before the draft. AFC West, this is my surprise. I got the Broncos with their free agency and their draft. Broncos winning the division. I want to do
Wait,
Chiefs
wait,
and
wait, wait, wait,
Yeah,
wait.
yeah. I was
You
about to
think you have
say,
the
yo, you
Broncos
didn't
winning the
react to that?
division
yeah,
from
I'll
third
explain.
place?
I don't want to explain now because I want to hurry up and get through it so y'all can do yours. I got Broncos, Chiefs, and Chargers tied because I don't know, and then
Tied, just on tied.
Okay, hold on. So, do you have a record?
no, I haven't did that shit yet. It's way too
Okay,
early.
yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah,
I just
I
had,
like to wait until preseason because the injuries
yeah.
and
Trust
shit.
me, we'll take a lot deeper,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
we'll try to make sure we
I
put you at
got
a like.
Chiefs and Chargers second. I don't know who's gonna finish. I think the Chiefs are gonna have a down year. Raiders last, obviously. NFC East, Eagles, Commanders, Cowboys, Giants. No, my bad. I got Giants coming in third because I think Dak Prescott's not gonna make it through the year. Cowboys last place. NFC North, I got the Lions, Bears, Packers, Vikings. NFC South, I got
Oh
Bucks.
wait, pause. I just had a quick. So you have the Vikings falling from 15
Yes.
and whatever all the way to the
Yeah, because the
13.
Bears free agency and draft, and then Vikings, you got a rookie quarterback off of ACL. Never seen him play, so I don't know. And then yes, that's why I got them last. But I think it's
And
gonna be the most
Jefferson,
I
he
think
can
it's gonna
go.
be the most competitive division. I think every team will finish above 500. If that makes
Okay,
a
that
little
makes
sense.
it sound a little bit better then.
Yeah. NFC South, this is easy. Bucks, Falcons, Panthers, Saints, and then NFC West, I got the Rams, uh, Seahawks, 49ers. No, Rams, 49ers, Seahawks, Cardinals.
The 49ers are pretty depleted. You got them being second. I guess if
Yeah,
you have that
just
one division
just
being so strong, it doesn't really matter about
yeah. I got
some.
the Rams winning the division regardless.
Yeah, I
So
was about to say somebody's other division is probably gonna hurt if the NFC North is pretty tough, and now the NFC East, if Dallas can come back, is gonna be pretty tough. So
I think Dallas is gonna be trash.
that's fair.
Yeah. They don't have a receiver. They got CeeDee Lamb and that's it. Running backs, mid, but yeah, y'all can go. Sorry, I took too long.
I don't think it was that long at all. What about you, Alfani? You want to give us a? You don't have to give us each one as Nick, but you can go
Oh, okay, I was
first.
about to ask that
Yeah,
actually.
you can go. Who do you think is gonna be first, and who's gonna be last?
Okay, for the AFC North, I got the Ravens, and the Ravens being first. I got the Browns last. I think they need a couple years to rebuild, but after that couple years, they'll be pretty good, like the Lions did. And then the AFC South, I got the Texans first, and the Colts last. And for the AFC East, I got the Bills first, Dolphins last. No, Jets last. I got the Jets last. And then for the AFC South, Nick, I can't believe you picked.
What?
This might be a biased pick, but I'm gonna
Wait.
say it anyways.
AFC West. AFC West. You said
Yeah,
South.
I was about to say. I
West.
thought you
Yeah,
just
the
said you had
AFC
the
West.
Colts last.
The AFC West. I meant. Definitely got the Chargers being first,
Of course you do.
and I got the Raiders being last. I said it was gonna be biased. It's all right. And the NFC North, I do think this will be the best division in football. I think Chicago's barely gonna be last, but I think they're gonna be last, and Detroit is gonna be first again. I feel like the last three teams aren't even gonna be close to Detroit, but I feel like it's gonna alternate throughout the year between who's second and who's fourth. But I think Chicago's gonna end at four. Then the NFC South, I got the Bucks, and I got the Saints being terrible. Probably not even gonna win 5 games, but and then the
Definitely won't if they
NFC
start
East,
Tyler.
huh?
So definitely won't if they start Tyler.
Yeah, the NFC East. I definitely got the Commanders winning. I got the Commanders winning that by 1 game. Then I got the Cowboys being terrible again. And then the NFC West. See, this one's really a toss-up for me, man.
Hold on, just real quick. You got the Cowboys being worse than the Giants?
Yeah.
Jackson Dart Show, baby. It's the Dart Show, baby. I
Not the
can't
Dart
wait
Show.
for it. I can't wait for the Dart Show.
Nah,
Not the
that
Dart
Dart
Show.
Show's gonna be on the bench.
Yeah.
Hell no, it needs to be all. It needs to be day one.
I think Russell Wilson is still a pretty good quarterback.
Ooh,
Russell
He
Wilson.
played for the.
you talking about future baby mom's husband?
That's crazy.
Yeah, that guy.
My fault. I don't be
And
paying.
then the NFC West is the toss-up for me.
Oh. Hey, it's smoking crack.
I got LA being number one and the Seahawks being last. What did you say, Nick?
I thought you said a toss-up. I gotta say, I got the Rams winning by at least 4 games. So, yeah, I think Brock Purdy's gonna be mid, and Sam Darnold. I think the whole quarterback. Yeah, I think Matt Stafford's by far the best in the division, and he's got the best supporting cast with the best coach. And if they're healthy, it should be at least 4 or 5 games to win the division by 4 or 5 games.
I feel that.
All right, but yeah, sorry for interrupting. Yep, sorry.
I think I'll go next, and I think the AFC North is going to yet again be the toughest division in football. I think the Browns are not going to be very good as per usual, but I think it's going to be a fight between the Ravens, the Cincinnati, and every year Pittsburgh figures it out, no matter who the quarterback is. So, I mean, every year they're at least in some kind of contention. Not saying they're going to win, but they're at least in the race to make the playoffs. So I think they're going to do it again. They're going to at least be in the race. And then I think Cincinnati is going to come back. I think Joe Burrow, you're not going to get too into that, but I think Joe Burrow is going to do something special next year.
I want.
What you got to say?
I'll wait till the end. Sorry. Yeah, wait till the end.
You can say what you got to say.
Not saying now.
No, Joe Burrow just had the best season ever, and they didn't make the playoffs, and their team might be worse. The defense might be worse. If they lose Trey Henderson, it'll be worse.
That's fair. He might, man. Maybe he's got to come back and put up an even better year. Go for 6,000 foot.
Maybe, but
that's an exaggeration. But I still think, he's gonna have. I think he's gonna be in the MVP race. So whatever that entitles, however many yards and touchdowns that is, so what it's gonna be.
You think Jamar Chase is gonna be triple crowned again?
Fuck no.
I mean, nah, probably not. But is he gonna lead in something? Yes. Don't know what it will be. Like I just said about Joe Burrow, I got to put some more thought. It's a little too early for that. But my NFC North, I think the Lions are going to come back. I think they're too dominant. I'm not going to lie. I think the Packers are going to be a team that's not going to look as good. Same with the Vikings. So I do have Detroit coming back and probably finishing as one of the best overall teams again next season. Then AFC South, unfortunately, I do think the Texans are probably going to win the AFC South. Not the biggest Texans fan. I root for CJ Stroud, but especially after this postseason, not a fan of the Texans, but, hats off to them. I think Jacksonville is going to be the bottom feeders of that division. For the NFC South, I do agree with I think everybody else said they have the Bucks. I do have the Bucks winning that division. I have the Saints also, another bottom feeding team, and they chose Tyler Schroe with the 40s pick. So I feel as if they themselves know their organization is in purgatory. The NFC East is going to be a nice division. It's going to be very fun to watch, especially that we're on this side. But I can't go against them, unfortunately. I do think the Eagles are going to win the division. I don't think the Giants are more than likely going to be the worst team in the division, but I have them having a better record than last year. I don't think they're going to be as bad as they were last year.
It's not hard to beat 3 wins, but yeah.
Once they start the dart show, I don't know. Somebody better watch out. That wild card might be in jeopardy.
Drew Lock would have got him at least 6 wins.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They let Dabo in the dart show, baby. I'm trying to tell you. AFC
The
East,
Indy.
same thing. Buffalo Bills, you know, that's easy. I don't even care who's last in that division. Probably the Jets. Like, honestly, it could be the Dolphins. Who knows if Tua is even going to make it to the season? It's hurt very often, you know, but we don't wish those kind of things on people.
Concussion merchant.
Oh, merchant is um very different thing to say. But AFC West, I won't be biased. I will be realistic. And it'll probably be the Chiefs yet again. But I am also in agreement with everybody else. The Raiders will be the worst team. So I think those are all my teams. Those are my division winners and the last place finishers. Number one to lose. That's what we should call them. Who is the number one loser in that division?
They win at something. They win at losing.
You're the best loser in here, my boy. It's on you, Tyler. Who you got in your division winners and losers?
I'm gonna make this quick. AFC East, same order: Bills, Dolphins, Jets, Patriots. NFC North, Ravens are gonna be the winners. I have the Bengals finishing second, Steelers third, Browns fourth. If they start Shador, Browns Super Bowl. Um, AFC South.
He told me bust down my AP.
That's all they need. Imagine playing that in the locker room and he's actually starting. Whole
He told me
different. You
bust
feel me?
down my AP every time.
Yeah. AFC South, I got Texans, Jaguars, Titans, Colts finishing last. I don't care who they start. And AFC West, Chiefs, Chargers, Broncos, Raiders, same exact order. Probably looks exactly the same. I don't think the Chiefs will have as good of a year, but same thing. Um, NFC East, I have it finishing the same exact way. Eagles, Commanders, Cowboys, Giants. NFC North, I got Lions, Packers, and Bears really close. I don't know. Honestly, Lions at the top easily. All the three, it could go either way. I can't even tell you. The Bears will be a little more competitive this year. You might even get a wild card team out of that division. NFC South, Bucks definitely gonna win. Saints, he said enough about that.
Purgatory.
And then NFC West, I'm gonna go Rams. I'm gonna go same order. Rams, Seahawks, Cardinals, Niners.
You know, I did not give my take on that one, and this will also goes perfect with how we started things off. My sleeper
Cardinals,
draft,
division winners.
exactly. My sleeper drafters. You know, I think there's a chance they might pull it out this year.
Wait, you said what?
Cardinals gonna win that division.
Division winners,
Yeah,
Cardinals.
I
I'll
mean,
put
it's
a
not that
hundred.
crazy.
I'll
If
put
you look
$100 on
at
that shit.
last year's, the first two, Rams finished 10-7, Seahawks finished 10-7, Cardinals finished 8-9. And Cardinals, I would argue, with the Seahawks, I feel like both of those teams elevated a lot.
Yeah.
I, I think the Rams win the division easily.
Minus Cooper Cup.
Like they have Devontae Adams.
Oh.
Sorry, my bad. They got Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua and Kyron Williams. They don't need Cooper Cup anymore.
That's a very
See,
good point.
like I said, man, you know, that's my sleeper. That's my sleeper. That's my low key pick. We can't keep it all uniformed.
No, I get it because I picked the Broncos, so I get it.
Yeah. But I just think there's I don't know. Like I said, I really like their draft, so I'm gonna stay on the same boat and hope that that draft actually transitions into a winning season.
I think we should all give our personal teams expectations as far as record. Because we've touched on our personal teams yet, but nobody's said how you like your actual draft, what pieces are your favorite that your team drafted. So I don't know if any of y'all want to start. I think we should just our personal favorite team expectations.
I only expect the Chargers to win a playoff game this year. That's my only expectation because Jay Herbo, man, I love the guy, but I need him to do more. And we got weapons. We got him
What
weapons
do you
this year.
what do you
So
believe you guys finished the season as?
if we get over 10 wins, I'd be happy.
You're over 10, but you think you're gonna win the conference with 10 wins?
10 or more, yeah.
Okay. So how many games do you think is enough to win that AFC West?
I don't think the Chiefs are going 15-1 again or 15-2, whatever they want. Uh, to be honest, I think 11-12 will be pretty good.
So y'all just have the same season as last year. Y'all be straight.
Pretty much.
I guess I'll go next. The Giants' schedule, last time I checked, is pretty brutal. So I'm gonna go. We had 3 wins last year. I'm gonna go 6.5 or 7 wins or 6 or 7 wins, probably 7, and we'll come third in the division. Dallas probably last, pretty terrible, and yeah, that's it. Malik Neighbors, 1,300 yards and 11 touchdowns, and
At
solidifies himself
1,500
as
if
a.
Jackson Dart starts.
And I'm pretty sure who could do it with either of the quarterbacks.
No,
And
only
then, huh?
only Jackson.
Okay. Anyway, and
Wandale
then
Robinson will be 1,000-yard receiver as well. I'm sorry though.
I was literally about to say Rondo Robinson, 850 plus yards.
1,000 with Jackson.
Oh.
What's your favorite draft pick?
Um, Probably Skidaboo, because
My
now
boy
we got
Cam
looser
Scatterbo.
running back and then a power running back.
I
So
can tell you, man, Cam. Oh, I wanted to put Cam as my steal. I feel like if I kind of feel like maybe based on this is just we already talked about this, but just because I picked because Tyler Warren was still a first round and all that. If I had to pick somebody outside of the first round, Cam would be my first round steal. Outside of the first round steal, I think that he is. I mean, I think that's the reason why he's projected to go, but I think he's going to be very productive in the NFL.
I respect it.
Yeah, I think he's going to be really good.
Tyler and Dalwan. What about them?
Me, I got to really look at the schedule again. But I mean, I kind of do expect us to do the same. I think we're gonna. I know we play the NFC East, and I think we play the Which one is that? I think we play the Vikings division.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be
So I
a
think we're
tough
gonna have
schedule.
two of the tougher divisions, which could play in. And then our division itself is trying to turn into a dogfight. So I think it's gonna finish. The standings are gonna finish the same. So whatever that may be, I think we're gonna end up second. So I guess we're gonna win double digit wins. I'd say whether that be 10-7 or 11-6. I don't know.
I'm gonna go Chargers under 9.5.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear. Did you say who your favorite draft pick was?
Trey Harris.
Second rounder.
Yeah, out of
You think you guys finally hit on a receiver versus,
well,
Quinn
if you want to be
Johnston.
if you want to be accurate, we just hit on a receiver last year, but you know,
Lad.
Vlad McCulkey.
yes,
So you're 1 for 2. You think y'all go for 2 for 3?
could be. You know, we'll find out. I don't know. I like Trey Harris though. I think he's a good deep threat. Just was injured last year. When he wasn't injured, it's crazy. I think he had multiple 200-yard games. He led college football in yards per catch. So 6'2". I think he was like 220 or something like that. Nice big guy. Good and good. He's a good it's good for it. He's one of those receivers that are quarterback friendly.
Hmm.
And then of course when Jackson Dart was throwing him the ball, it's just a match made in heaven. Shout out to Jackson Dart. Giants future superstar.
You're really high on Jackson Dart, huh?
Yeah, I like Jackson Dart.
That's
Do you
what it
believe he's
sounds like.
gonna? Oh no. Well, you really like Cam Ward, so I guess there's no need to compare.
Yeah, but I also think, like I just said, Cam Ward's gonna be the guy day one. Jackson Dart, give it like week 8, maybe
Not
week
mad at that.
week 10. But Cam Ward, I think, will be QB1 from day one.
Not mad at that.
And Mr. Tyler, it's all down to you.
Honestly, team expectations. I believe we win the division. As far as record, doesn't look like we have the hardest schedule. I have us splitting with the Redskins, so whether they're home, us home. I mean the Commanders, my bad. Um, I got us going 1-1 with them, so that's one loss. Buffalo, I believe we beat Buffalo second game of the season. I do believe we lose to Kansas City, playing in Kansas City. I don't think that's going to be a tough game. Chargers beat, Vikings beat, Giants beat. The back end of our schedule is really where it gets soft, unless we end up losing that last game to the Commanders. But 3 losses, 4 at the worst. I got us going back to the bowl, man. And then depending on our opponent, I like us. I don't know what else an Eagles fan would think coming off of a Super Bowl, but to think we do any less the following year after I feel like we've gotten better and more cohesive. Um, Even though we did lose out on a lot, I still believe we replaced a lot. My favorite pick, I'm gonna like watching Jahad Campbell play, but I really do like the safety we got in the late
Yeah, from
in the late
Texas.
yeah, the late second round. I believe he's literally I mean his floor is gonna be like a kind of do it all, playing the slot, playing the safety. He can kind of be like the Avonte Maddox for us, kind of be everywhere, do a lot for us. And then his ceiling is literally the person we just lost, I feel like. If he comes out and has a year like CJ Gardner Johnson, uh, it's gonna be perfect. We literally didn't miss a beat. Reed Blankenship's gonna fly around out there, let him kind of, get comfortable. And with the people we have on the corners and our nickel corners, I like that. So my favorite draft pick, even though I really do like Jahad, I like Makuba, I believe is how you say his name, Andrew Makuba. But other
Jalen
than that,
Milroe. And then my other hot take is Broncos winning the division. Their draft and then the signings and free agency. Plus, I mean, they went to the playoffs with a rookie quarterback. They got Sean Payton. He's one of the best coaches. So second year quarterback under a good Hall of Fame coach's system. So I think that's my hot take.
I have a hot take.
What is it?
The Panthers are going to be fighting with the Bucks for the top dog.
who?
Yeah.
The Panthers?
Mhm.
I don't know about that, buddy, but I could
What
see it.
makes? I mean, that's hot. I'm about to strip down. What
They
makes?
got to
What
worry
makes?
about the Falcons first.
They looked
What
really
makes?
good
Yeah.
at the end of
What
the
makes
year,
you say
bro. They
that?
were they were taking everybody at the end of the year down to the wire. When Bryce Young finally got back in after Andy Dalton, when Bryce Young came back, it actually looked like a first round pick, and they were actually playing good. Their kicker doesn't fucking miss, and then they added a
Nigga
couple of
just missing
tight
the
pieces.
kicker.
Like I don't know, man. I think they're gonna finish too. I think they're gonna finish 2 and have a chance. Like it's gonna be on some like this team has to lose and this team has to lose, but they have a chance to win the division.
I think that's
That's hot.
pretty. That's like the scalding hot or
Yeah,
score
Yeah,
I
hot.
that's
tell you,
hot.
they started playing real ball at the end of the year. They were taking teams down to the wire. When Bryce Young came back after a little Andy Dalton stint, Bryce Young was actually throwing multiple touchdown games over and over again. I don't know what was going on. He was running, scrambling like a whole new quarterback. And then they had the Crocker receivers pretty good. That was their rookie. They had another, what's the other dude's name? I don't
I
remember
got
Crocker's
Chuba
name.
Hubbard.
Not even Chuba Hubbard. They had another receiver that I thought was pretty good. Trimble. I think Trimble's pretty good.
He's a
I
tight
think
end.
I'm trying to tell you, and then they started playing really well. And if Bryce can at least get them in field goal range, they got 3 points every time. Because that kicker doesn't
Marfani.
Guess while we wait for him, I've already said, I guess, my biggest hot take at the beginning of the episode, but I believe y'all let me know if this is hot or not. But I believe when I said it, it was a little questionable. But Travis Hunter winning Defensive Rookie of the Year.
I think he's gonna get enough snaps.
You say you do or don't.
I don't. Plus,
Um,
I feel like they're gonna be getting blown out. No point of putting them in when you're getting blown out and the other team's running the ball. It's just gonna risk them getting hurt. So, yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, I
I
just
do think though that him and Brian, he's gonna give Brian Thomas better.
Yeah.
you think on the offensive side of the ball, he's enough of a threat to take attention away from Brian Thomas?
Oh yeah. I would say he's gonna make Brian Thomas better from them like being in practice.
I
Oh,
th
on like mirroring him.
Yeah, like playing each other. Yeah, like
Right.
going against each other. I think he's gonna make him better because then he's also a long body. He's gonna probably know what Brian Thomas is gonna want to do and all that. He's big.
Yeah,
He's got
Brian
good
Thomas has that
muscles.
speed over him too. Travis probably ain't ran into a lot of people who are really faster than him.
Yeah, I think they're gonna make each other a lot better because like Travis, yeah, Travis is a good corner, but none of the receivers are Brian Thomas level that he was going up against.
And that's my point. Like you said,
So,
they both going to sharpen each other.
yeah.
So, like I said, I just think even if Travis gets, like I said, not crazy volume at cornerback, I believe when he's in there, they're going to treat him at least until he makes them stop. They're going to try to pick on him because he's not the biggest. Like nothing about him is daunting besides the name Travis Hunter. Like you don't see crazy size, you don't see crazy strength, speed maybe, agility maybe. He's just he's just a football player, and I believe his instincts, the people around him. I just think everything's gonna make him better, and people are going to try him.
Mhm.
I got my hot take.
Go ahead, I'm back, bro.
JD5 is gonna be top 3 contender for MVP next season. And that's the reason the Commanders are gonna be number 1 in your division.
Y'all think that's hot? I feel like he almost did it this year.
Yeah, he was in the MVP race for like.
Yeah, I don't think that's too hot, brother.
I think he's gonna be close to winning it,
He's gonna be a finalist. Is basically what you're saying.
pretty much.
I'm saying if you was gonna go for hot, you should have just jumped all the way in and just called him MVP.
Yeah.
MVP. I would, but I don't think he's gonna beat the dude who's actually gonna win MVP.
Lamar Jackson is who you said?
Yeah.
I don't think Lamar Jackson's gonna be in the MVP race this year. I think he's gonna have a good season, but I don't think it's gonna be better than the year that just passed. I think it's gonna be like less. So then, unless they try to pull like something weird, like on some NBA stuff, but I think it's gonna be less than this season. So they're gonna be like, oh well, his numbers are worse and he didn't win it last year, so how are we gonna give it to him this year?
I
And like
think
I'm
I
not.
agree with you just for the fact that he's not. I mean, if it all pans out right, I feel like he won't have to put up as many points to compete. So I feel like you said, the numbers just aren't going to be the same. And if, like
Mhm.
you said, we didn't give it to him this year, how are we going to do it when the numbers are deflated?
Yeah, so that's the only reason why. But who knows? At the same time, like they said, he won it the year before with way worse numbers, and so I don't know.
Yeah.
Sometimes the NFL gets a little wonky. Who knows?
And it's kind of more of how the field looks also. It depends what everybody else does.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, I don't know. And then too, I think Derrick Henry another year in that system, it'll probably look the running will go back to being 2,000 yards again. Maybe if they can
you know,
figure
I
out.
don't even need all that. I just need him to get a couple catches. Forget the rushing. He got the rushing down pat. He need to
Yeah,
get their bricks together.
you know what I think they need? Like it's like good and bad, but with him, I feel like he needs to, or maybe it's with them. He needs to like control. Like they need to figure out how to control the run. I feel like he was like a home run hitter too much.
Mm-hmm.
Like he would have like a bad first half or a bad second half, but the first half he would have went crazy. I would have like 2 home runs. I feel like if they could
Little
figure out how to
70-yard
like,
runs that just inflate the average.
yeah, like just
Yeah.
let's just grind it out. Let's slow down the game. Like just get 10 yards here, get 10 yards there. I feel like he'll have a half where he only has like 50 yards. Next half he'll have a buck 50.
Yeah.
So like it's just like I don't know. That's the
Like you sitting there waiting for the parlay to hit, but you know you waiting for one run.
yeah.
125.
Yeah, like, and I mean,
Nah,
Saquon
yeah.
kind of does the same thing, but Saquon is
Nah,
sometimes be
Saquon
smart.
chips at you a little more though.
Yeah, I think
Unless
he
you're
thinks
really
about it.
like Saquon will get those 7, 8, 7, 8, where
Yeah,
Derrick Henry will 2, 2, 3, 3,
yeah,
70.
yeah, and that's why, like, if he can figure out how to balance that, or the Ravens, I don't know who I put that on more, but if they can figure out how to balance, like, let's not make it a home run all the time. It'll even help their offense out more because they'll be on there a little bit longer. They'll wear out the other defense. And then once they start wearing them down more and you go into a play action pass and everybody's scrambling and then you got Lamar Jackson, this is going to get scary because now they're tired of getting beat up on. They don't put all these big dudes in and now Lamar is looking like Michael Jackson on the football field. So if
I
they can
feel
figure
that.
that out, I think it'll help them.
What you mean by Michael Jackson? Smooth criminal
Yeah, all that, all
or
kind of
bad?
whatever dance move you need, you gonna see it.
Okay.
He might even moonwalk into the end zone.
Hey,
It's like he might spin and literally really, and it's crazy because he really might do it. That's what makes it worse. It's not even like he really might spin on somebody and really just hit the Michael Jackson in there back.
you're not lying.
Like, he just right. Oh, so I don't know, man. But yeah, but I just don't know who, like, how do you plan to do that? Like, we're trying to get 7 yards, 8 yards. Like, I don't know how you plan. I don't know if that'd be on the
I
running
just feel
back.
like he has to be in every single down. I feel like when he's in, you know they're running, or it's gonna be like a play action. Because every time, what was the backup running back's name?
Justice Hill.
Justice Hill.
Yeah, every time he was in, we know it's going to be a little screen, or he's going to be there for the dump off. Like
Mhm.
I mean, and I know it's hard to have an every down back in this NBA. We really don't. I mean, in this NFL, we really don't do that. But like I said, when they're removing you just on passing downs, it's like I feel like you said, every time we do see you on the field, you're trying for that home run.
Speaking, how many every down backs do you think there are? I feel like
In
it's
the
on like
league right now,
yeah. I feel like it's on
There's
like
a
two,
lot,
three.
One.
I'll give you two. For me, I
right?
go CMC,
I like
Josh Jacobs.
Saquon.
I mean, I wouldn't say that because I saw the split, but I mean, I guess you could say Saquon.
I was gonna
I
say
think
Saquon and Bijan.
I think
Yeah,
there's a I think there's a
Josh
few.
Jacobs though I think so too because he can catch like crazy. So I didn't think about him for real, but
I
that's what
feel
I'm
like
saying.
Jahmyr
CMC,
Gibbs
Josh
could do it.
Jacobs, those two are the first that come to mind
yeah.
for
See, the
me.
only reason why I think I'm not gonna lie. This should have been my hot take, but I think CMC is done.
Oh,
Whatever.
but regardless of how you feel about the talent, he gonna be on that field. He gonna get the
Oh,
ball
see,
20
that's what I'm
times.
saying. I think that needs done.
Yeah,
Whatever's
no, I
wrong with
agree.
him, you going overseas and then coming back and you still can't. I think it's done. I think we're at the end of
I feel like Jahmyr Gibbs could be a.
It's Jordan James time.
that. Nah, for real, for real. What was the other dude? Not Patrick Taylor. Patrick Taylor? He's there.
Patrick Taylor.
Is
You
that the
talking about
running?
the from last year?
Yeah, isn't that the other running back? I think they were
Nah,
something.
it's not.
Jordan Mason.
Jordan Mason. That's what
Yeah,
it was.
he was another one. They ran through like four of them,
Yeah.
and then it was not worse, but it was funnier because they all played.
They all got injured.
Yeah, like they all actually
Yeah,
did
because
something.
they got ran into the ground.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
no, Patrick Taylor is on their team, but he
I
doesn't have
think
any yards.
I
Oh
think
no,
y'all missed some bats, but yeah.
yeah, I'm thinking of him because he played the last game. The last game, Patrick Taylor, 17 carries, 109 yards. I think he only
Mm.
played the last, but
I was
he put.
about
I
to
think
say, it
he
was
just.
the Jordan Mason show for a minute. Jordan Mason was number one fantasy
Nah,
running
yeah,
back for a
yeah.
good minute.
Then they had somebody with the G. Yeah,
Guerrero.
The
Yeah,
rookie. It was
yeah,
the rookie.
yeah. They were just.
that value sold
Depleted.
me in fantasy.
But
Yeah.
no, I think that's all my hot takes. I don't know if y'all boys got any more.
Neither do I. Honestly, I think that my hottest one is that I think CMC's career is done.
Oh, you came up with a whole new one.
No, 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 no. I'm gonna keep mine, but that's just when I was
Another
talking.
one.
Yeah, that one's also pretty hot to me. I think it's done. The stuff he was trying to do to get back, that does not look good to me. That looks like I'm on my last leg here. But
I think
I think today was a great show. I think we covered a lot of stuff. We talked about some good football. I appreciate everybody for rocking with us who sat here and stayed to the very end of the video. We got to make sure to add our socials to the bottom if you guys want to follow us, check us out. And, I think that was all for today's podcast of The Real and the Ugly. And hopefully we catch you guys next time. Peace.